Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back on the 31 Days of Horror discussing The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the 1980 made-for-TV version. This will be my fourth and final Sleepy Halloween review of the month. I started with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow 1949 and figured I'd end with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow 1980. This, as I mentioned, is a 1980 made-for-TV movie, and it stars Jeff Goldblum as Ichabod Crane. Meg Foster plays Katrina Van Tassel, and NFL legend Dick Butkus plays Brom Bones. This adaptation of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is unfortunately lost on VHS. It's surprising to me that this one has never been put on disc, because not only is it my favorite adaptation of the tale, but it seems to be the favorite of many. For me, Jeff Goldblum is Ichabod Crane. It's the best portrayal of that character, in my opinion. Again, I know others agree. He's really good in the role. This is an interesting adaptation of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, because traditionally it's known as a Halloween story, hence why I've been reviewing these films for Sleepy Halloween. For this one, however, they switched up the season, and it's set during the winter. The Harvest Ball from the original story is a winter ball in this version. While watching it, I almost decided instead to review it for The 12 Days of Christmas later this year. But with it being my favorite adaptation of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, I felt I needed to review it for Sleepy Halloween. We know it as a Halloween story, so why can't it be both? This is one that could be watched at Halloween time and Christmas time, like The Nightmare Before Christmas. The seasonal change isn't the only change made to this adaptation. There are additional characters who hadn't appeared in any other version. Their inclusion is definitely a benefit to the story, in my opinion. I love the look of the film. Not just the grain and that 80s made-for-TV look, but it just looks so cold. It's ultimately a snowy horror period piece. There are some genuinely funny moments as well, not in the typical Hollywood comedy fashion, but in a realistic way. It's mainly in the way Jeff Goldblum delivers his lines. He's sort of a laid-back, subdued version of Ichabod Crane. In this one, Ichabod is a hero, not an anti-hero, like in other versions of the tale. And Dick Butkus as Brom Bones is definitely a villain. His group of friends in the other versions have been condensed to just one in this. Brom and his friend Frederick spend much of the film playing pranks on Ichabod Crane. Brom is in love with Katrina Van Tassel, played by the young and beautiful Meg Foster. Ichabod, of course, has eyes for her as well. In this one, though, he's not just after her money. He's actually in love with her. She, too, is attracted to Ichabod, but Brom has been courting her for years. Other men who have shown Katrina attention in the past have been driven away by Brom. One even jumped from a cliff to his own death. Or did he? The alleged dead man keeps appearing to Ichabod Crane. The town of Sleepy Hollow is very superstitious. They believe in ghosts and the Headless Horseman. But Ichabod is more rational than that. He's not superstitious. As the schoolmaster, he believes in teaching his students facts, not fiction. But after a series of bizarre incidents, Ichabod starts to believe. Are Brom and Frederick to blame? Or are their ghostly apparitions truly revealing themselves to Ichabod Crane? Is there really a Headless Horseman? And if so, can Ichabod escape with his head and marry Katrina Van Tassel? This movie is like comfort food to me. So much so that I fell asleep watching it. And when I say that, I absolutely do not mean because it's boring. It's definitely not. it's just so relaxing. Because I love it so much, when I woke up, I didn't just continue from where I left off. I started again from the beginning. So technically, before filming this review, I watched The Legend of Sleepy Hollow 1.5 times. It truly is a shame that this version has never been put on DVD or Blu-ray. I'm definitely glad to have this VHS in my collection though, because, as I said, it's a favorite. Have you seen this 1980 made-for-TV adaptation of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.